Yeah, amazing weekend ahead of us. Well, we were waiting for the big boys to play each other, and when they got done, Alabama went wild, putting away Georgia. I mean, that was pretty impressive what the Crimson Tide and that quarterback did. And I tend to think Jalen Milroe has probably pushed himself to the top of the Heisman Trophy balloting by virtue of an over 400-yard all-purpose day, and they just jumped all over Georgia. Christian Beck led a phenomenal comeback, but he wound up throwing 3 interceptions in the course of the game, and that turned out to be the difference. Beck wound up with 435 yards and the 3 picks. Milroe had 374 passing, 117 yards rushing, and Georgia's defense knew he was coming. That was an impressive Alabama win over Georgia, knocked Georgia from the second spot in the rankings down to 5, and they still got the teeth of the SEC schedule to be played. Second item, Heisman Trophy candidates. I have a Heisman Trophy ballot.
Hey.
We'll be talking more about that as the season wears on. But boy, there's some other unique names that have shown up. This quarterback out of Miami has thrown his way into the Heisman conversation. His name is Cam Ward. He started at small college Texas, Incarnate Word, an NAIA school. How does this kid get unrecruited? But anyhow, he put all these NAIA records up on the board, went to Washington State, played there 2 years, really impressive in the Pac-12. Last year, graduate school, he elects to opt out of Wazoo, goes to the Miami Hurricanes. He's got them unbeaten. Cam Ward this weekend threw for 354 and 4 more touchdowns. Guy's made himself into a Heisman candidate. Obviously, I just talked about Jalen Milroe and what his accomplishments were against Georgia. Shedeur Sanders continues to put up big passing numbers for Colorado, and the Buffaloes are off to a pretty good start. And the other dark horse name is the Boise State running back, Ashton Genty. He's had 4 200-yard games. And it's not like Boise State is playing Idaho State at the Big Sky Conference.
Mm-hmm.
He's doing this against legitimate D1 teams. And he just went off for 259 yards and 4 touchdowns against Washington State. So this bears watching. I'd say right now, those are probably the top 5 names. We'll see if some other quarterbacks surface as we move to the middle of the season, move to the second half of the season. From the Heisman, let's talk about the Aztecs. Patience. We need patience. The 12 Aztec football fans left in the community need patience. I don't mean to be cruel. Sean Lewis, he's struggling. I don't know if the system's too complex, whether the play calls are right or not, but the Aztecs lost to a team that is kind of at their level, Central Michigan. They weren't playing Pac-12 people, and they just couldn't stay in the game. They move the football in spurts, and then they don't score. They play really hard on defense. The defense is on the field the whole damn time. And this weekend, they committed a bunch of personal foul penalties, which made it really, really hard for them to overcome. I still think they're going to be good. Danny O'Neal is really impressive for an 18-year-old freshman. He has no turnovers in 4 games.
Wow.
None. That's impressive. He's really accurate. Now, they're not doing well on third down plays right now, only 34% conversion. But, I mean, this is a star of the future. Lewis Brown, the transfer wide receiver from Colorado State, has become their big play guy. My only concern is they're asking Danny O'Neal to stay in that pocket while they run deep home run balls, and they're not hitting as many of those deep passes as you'd want. I want to know with the speed that Sean Lewis has compiled on that roster, why are you not running slants? Why are you not running crossing patterns? Why are you not running up and outs? Because you put the fear of God in secondary that they got so much speed. You don't need to throw 51-yard passes. All you need is just to get first downs, keep the damn defense on the field and wear them out. That has not happened. So I think Sean Lewis needs to reevaluate his play chart and start using some of the other wide receivers because, they've got so much skill guys. They're throwing to one tight end and they're throwing to Lewis Brown. That's like they're ignoring the rest of the group. I think he's got to expand those who are participating. USC. They booed the Trojans off the field at the Coliseum at halftime. They were losing to Wisconsin. And they came out, and Miller Moss came out possessed. Tell you what, firebrand of a leader. Big, tough kid in the pocket. Moves the pocket, makes throws downfield. When they got done, Miller Moss put on a passing show. 308 yards, 3 touchdowns. Trojans come from behind to post a win over Bucky Badger in Wisconsin. UCLA, this is going to get worse before it ever gets better. I mean, they got trampled again this weekend. They got outgained 431 to 172 yards. This is a team that almost lost to Hawaii the first game of the season. Has lost 3 in a row since that point in time. Ethan Garbers, the quarterback, is turning the ball over. Now he's dinged up. They just don't have a lot of players. I don't know if UCLA is going to win a game in the Big Ten going forward. And one other story. Would you please explain this to me? You're the smartest guy in the room. I mean, that's why we have a podcast with all this technology. Smartest guy in the room. Why would the Mountain West Conference make a phone call? They're trying to add an 8th team after having lost Utah State plus San Diego State, Boise, Fresno, etc. They're trying to add an 8th team. Why would you call North Dakota State? Why would you call Texas State? Why would you? Was there an earthquake or something? Why is Northern Illinois, Toledo, which I thought were in the Midwest, why are they considered a Mountain West Coast team now? That's who they're calling to try to get to be the 8th member of the team of the conference. Why is the Mountain West doing that? Makes no sense to me at all.
No. I mean, well, geography doesn't matter anymore. Yeah. The number on the end of your conference name, Pac-12, Big 10, Big 12, that doesn't matter anymore. So it's just anything goes, the Mountain West needs to pick a generic name, so they don't get geographically linked.
I can't believe Toledo and Northern Illinois come in here in this conference. That's as absurd as back in the day when San Diego State was going to the Big East. I said, oh yeah, I can't wait to start that rivalry in the Big East Conference with UConn football.
Imagine being a player in Northern Illinois and you got to go fly to Hawaii to play football. I mean, that might be a nice vacation. That's a hell of a trip.
Yeah. So that's where we are. So John, give me a quick spin. Pick a team, pick a topic. I know you have opinions.
The Aztecs, I was just so in it for them. I was thinking they could really do it. And the kicker, had some trouble. He missed a couple of field goals. You can't put it all on that kid, but still this was a game you wanted them to win. And it was interesting, just generally speaking, watching that game in their stadium, which is a nice stadium there in Central Michigan. And then I flipped the channel and it's Georgia, Alabama. And it's like the freaking Super Bowl, man. And it's big time. You texted me, it's big boy football. Here we go. So it's interesting the differences of the two. But, I really want the Aztecs to be successful. I like Sean Lewis and his enthusiasm. I want him to be successful. The other comment I'll make is I want that kid from Boise State to win the Heisman. Just like Marshall Faulk got screwed by, who was it, Lee Corso, that wanted his guy from Miami to get.
You wanted a Gino Torretta fan.
Gino Torretta, yes. So the Aztecs got screwed. This kid from Boise State sounds like he's legit. I haven't seen him yet, but the numbers are off the chart.
He's a third-year guy. He stayed. He didn't go to the NFL. I mean, He is the best big running back. There's a highlight video from this past weekend's game against Washington State. He ran over 7 different Cougar players on this long touchdown run. It's a phenomenal run. So Google it up, Google boy.
So is he like an Earl Campbell that bashes you over, or is he a fast guy?
No, he's physical. He's not Earl Campbell in terms of dimensions, but he's big and physical, and he's got an extra gear once he gets out there. He's like Faulk. Faulk was not as physical as Genty is. Faulk was unbelievably lightning quick, and he had an extra gear when he got out to the second level or got to the sidelines and went. This guy will bang you and then bounce it out, and one guy can't bring this guy down. He's powerful.
That sounds like Rashad Penny.
Yeah.
So maybe that's a better comparison.
That's very good.
Yeah.
Okay, so that's where we are in college football. Feel free to join us with an opinion. Fans Forum chat box is open.